Hello students, good morning. This is uh, Madhusudan Reddy, Kakatiya Government Degree College, Department of Political Science, Hanamkonda, Warangal. Dear students, uh, you are all from different backgrounds. Some of the students are from science, some of the students are from arts, and some of the students are from commerce, and even some students are from biological sciences. So you have come here and have chosen political science as one of your optional subjects. Whether you have chosen that subject consciously or unconsciously, now you are bound to know the subject, and I promise the subject is very nice and very interesting, and you will definitely know so many things. Political science, as you all know, many people think that politics is a dirty game, because politicians resort to so many unwanted activities, and they lie, they make all false promises, and for the sake of power they can go to any extent and do anything to survive in the power, to hold on to the power. This is the general perception of the students and the general public outside. But I'll tell you, students, political science is a subject which you must know to know the issues or the problems which human being is facing today. Wherever there is an issue, wherever there is a problem, there bound to be politics. And here in degree you have for the first semester the title of the paper, political theory. This is the first topic that you are having in political science. There is a different story. Though our optional is political science, but in the beginning or in the initial stage, you may be having doubt that we are taught about political theory. So you will come to know after completion of this class the difference between political science, political theory, and also I hope you will understand what is political theory. So before going into the discussion of the topic today, we have to understand what is theory. Political, anyhow you will come to know later on in the next class. I will explain to you what is politics, what is political science, what is political philosophy, and all about political science. But today you should know it's a very important concept, theory. What is theory? We are going to have an in-depth discussion on this concept, because you must have known already so many theories. Science students learned theories about atomic structure, or so many theories, dynamic theories, mechanical theories, and even art students also many theories they must have learned in economics, in social, in political science. You must have learned so many theories or heard so many theories, but the exact understanding of what a theory constitutes is very important. Today we are going to learn what is theory. See, the general understanding of what theory means. Let us see. Uh, Now, you know, uh, theory, generally it should be understood as an explanatory thought. It is a thought or it is a thinking um, which is being explained. When you want to explain or understand any particular thought, you require lot of logic, lot of interconnectivity. You have so much of data, but when you have so much of data, you should interlink the data and explain, so that one acquires knowledge about that phenomenon. So what is theory? Generally we should understand that it is an explanatory thought. The main function of theory is explanation. A scientist, he observes the nature or a society, and he will understand, or he will come to know so many patterns. Based on those patterns, he will try to explain in a logical manner. So theory, why we should know, or why we should develop a theory about anything, any phenomena, you have to observe that phenomena, and logically you have to explain that phenomena. That becomes a theory. For example, see, corona disease, COVID disease, is has given a lot of jolt to the entire humanity. Everybody is concerned about corona disease. There are different theories how about its origin. Some people say it is originated in China. Some people say no, it is originated in US, and some people say it is originated from animals and spread from animals. So there are different explanations. There are different theories of its origin, and also there are different theories of treatment. Some people say this is how it should be treated. Some people say no, this is how it should be treated. Like that, there are so many explanations, but which explanation is so attractive or is so rational? It depends on the logical way that one in a logical way one explains how logical it is, or how reasonable it is, how the explanation is based on evidence. So if people believe that this explanation has got a lot of evidence or a lot of credibility, then people understand or people subscribe to that explanation. So that is how theory is based on logic, theory is based on evidence, and also theory is based on sometimes values. And let us see what exactly a theory contains. And just look at this slide, and so in totality the theory is concerned with three types of statements. So when we want to understand theory, we should keep in mind three types of statements: an empirical statement, a logical statement, an evaluative statement. So theory contains these three things. Empirical statement means the statement is based on the observation through our senses. Human being has got five senses: sound, sight by seeing, by listening, and by smelling, and by tasting, and also by touching. So these five sense organs help a human being to observe a phenomena. So this is based on that observation. The statement, if any statement is made based on the observation through senses, it is called empirical statement. And another one is logical statement. So logical statement is a statement based on logic, human logic. There should be a reason. There should be an interconnection. For example, A is friend of B and B is friend of C. So generally the logic says that A is also a friend of C. So it's a general logic. You should be in a position to have a kind of interconnection. So the statement that is based on logic, so you must have heard that you are very logical because he's more sensible. So the logic is very important. Human being, it's inbuilt character of a human being that his thinking, he can think logically. The other important type of statement that comes under theory is evaluative statement. The statement is based on values and it's value oriented judgment. Evaluative statement is nothing but judging a particular thing. So you must know the difference between value and fact. See, fact is you can certainly say with evidence. For example, this is the length of the wall. You take length of the wall. Some students say it is 10 meters. Some students no, it is 8 meters. Some students say it is 10 meters. But it is a fact. You can know that fact by measuring, by a tape. You take a tape and measure it. Then everybody will agree that it is 10 meters long. So it's a fact. But value is a thing, it differs from person to person. See, if I say this hall is beautiful, see, I am passing a judgment whether it is beautiful or not. So if it is beautiful, some people say no, it is not beautiful. So it's a value. See, to me it is valuable, it is wonderful, but to you it may be different. So that is evaluative statement. The statement based on values, based on individual or group preferences. So this is how the theory contains three important statements. Empirical statement, that is through observation, and another one is logical statement, the statement based on logic, interconnection, reasonable interconnection, and third one is evaluative statement, the statement based on value, or that's preference of a person or a group. So the preferences of a person or a group differs from person to person or group to group. So we should have in theory these three important statements. And then let us see these three important statements. These elements, these three statements are characteristic of both science and philosophy. The first two statements, the empirical statement and logical statement, constitute to be a science. The science is based on empirical statement and logical statement, whereas philosophy is based on evaluative statement. So therefore philosophy is value oriented, philosophy is ideal, philosophy is based on value judgments. So that is how we should understand. A theory contains these three elements which broadly categorized into two, science and philosophy. Now let us see science. Science, as distinguished from philosophy. So we should make a distinction between science and philosophy. The science, relies on empirical and logical statements. As I have just told you, it is based on empirical and logical statements which are capable of being verified. So you take a phenomena, and if that phenomena is observed um, based on empiricism, based on empirical orientation, and then logic, and if another person also makes same thing, he will come to same conclusion. So in sciences, what happens if hydrogen and water is combined, hydrogen H2O. So if these two are combined, you will get water. So even any person, you take any person, if he observes and understands with logic, he will come out and say that it is water. So verifiability is important in science. Verifiability is very, very important. So we need verifiability and also empirical and logical statements. So any science depends on these three very important aspects. And what about, as I said, theory contains empirical statement, logical statement, and finally evaluative statement. Here problem arises. See, values are different from individual to individual and from one group to another group. So, and also you cannot have a reliable method of determining what is right or wrong, good or bad. As I said, value statement is passing like a judgment, whether it is good or bad, it is right or wrong. You don't have any particular method to say that this is right and this is wrong, because one cannot scientifically discover the purpose of the universe or human life. See, for example, if I ask you what is the purpose of a human life, you say one thing and another student will say some other thing. And it varies from person to person. Perception also varies. So you cannot have a particular method to know which is exactly right, which is exactly wrong. So this is what all about evaluation. Then you have the social sciences, especially how far they are sciences. During 50s and late 60s, the methodology of the sciences was being followed by the social sciences to prove that they are more and more scientific for the sake of applicability. So that is how the people who emphasized on scientific aspect of studying a phenomena, they were called as, or they are known as positivist or positivism or logical positivism. The champions of positivism or logical positivism rely and propagate scientific method of inquiry which is value-free, value-neutral, modeled after the methodology of natural sciences. So they emphasized on studying a phenomena as it is, how the phenomena is, that is important, not how it should be. So without any individual preferences coming into the way of scientific study. And the scientific study, the so-called scientific study, or the positivists, or the positivism, its methodology is modeled after the natural sciences. As you must be knowing, the natural sciences, they study the phenomena in the nature, but whereas social sciences, they study the human being, his behavior, and the institutions he has created, and all those aspects are being studied. So the same methodology that is applied to sciences, natural sciences, is sought to be applied in studying the phenomena of social phenomena. So there are many the so-called scientific methods, they emphasized on value neutrality. So the individual preferences are sought to be removed from the study of a phenomena, even a social phenomenon, like in the natural sciences. But theory, apart from the above, so theory does not just include the science or the statement based on empiricism and logic. It also equally concerned with the theory, equally concerned with determining values which come within the scope of philosophy. So value judgment, values, value statements, evaluative statements, they all come under the larger subject, that is philosophy. So here philosophy is concerned with value judgment, values, ideals. So now let us see. We cannot accept the view that values are based on individual or group preferences. Many positivists say that values are individual oriented or group oriented. They change from person to person or from group to group, and therefore values cannot be studied scientifically. They must be excluded from the scientific study. But on the contrary, what the philosophical view says that values do have sound logical structure, though they tend to look like biased statements. So some people say something based on his preference, and some other people will say based on their own preference some other thing. But between all these groups or among all these individuals, based on some logic, based on human reasoning, or based on the capacity of human reasoning, you will arrive at certain values which are based on logic, and which can be acceptable to many people or many groups. So even the value judgments can be arrived at to the acceptance of all. So that is very important. So how we should be able to arrive at a kind of values that are acceptable to all is also very important. So some people hold some perception, and other people will have some other perception. For example, I'll give you an example. See, authority. Authority is a very important concept in political science. Authority means influencing, the capacity to influence the behavior, or the right to influence the behavior of the people. Here, the authority, there are different people. Human beings are, some people are conservative. They give importance to the past. They give importance to the traditional values. And some people are progressive, or some people anarchists. They don't believe in any kind of authority. They basically believe that any authority is bad because it exercises undue control or undue influence and make the lives of the people miserable. But some people who are called as conservatives, they say that authority is required to exercise some discipline, to maintain some discipline in the society. So people have different perceptions. Now the important thing is between these two kind of groups or people, we should bring about a kind of agreement, so as to have a kind of universal principles. Otherwise, if any person is given freedom to have his own perception and his own understanding being rubbed on the people, then it will create a lot of chaos. See, some people say this is right, some people say this is right. Now, based on the social necessity, based on the societal necessity, and also the keeping in mind the safety of the people, keeping in mind the the interests of different groups and sections, there need to be a dialogue or a reconciliation. The dialogue has to be brought about, only then the universal principles can be derived. And so the philosophy helps here. So philosophy basically concentrates on arriving at or having certain values, having purpose, having values. The determination of values through philosophy is the basis of sound public policy or decision. If we abdicate this responsibility, it may fall in irresponsible hands with disastrous consequences. So, if we emphasize or if we concentrate only on science part of the study, then that is not good for the society. Hence, any theory must comprehend both science and philosophy. So, here you have to understand that science is, empirical. Science is logical, but this logical and empirical aspects help you to understand what is the situation, what is the phenomena. But it will not help you if positivists, as positivists said, and logical positivism said, a pure science does not help the human being or humanity in any way. So we need to have philosophy. We need to have value judgments. But those value judgments are not confined to a particular section or particular group. And those value judgments are not based on personal, prejudicial or narrow personal prejudices. Those values should be based on the preferences of all. The preferences of all people and all groups. How that can be arrived at? For example, you take Indian Constitution. India is a vast country. It has got so many religions, so many castes, so many languages, so many regions, so many sects, and lot of diversity is there. And each group of people will have their own preferences, will have their own values. But in spite of these many values, these many diversities, you try to arrive at a kind of universal principles which are enshrined in Indian Constitution. So making of the Constitution, requires a lot of philosophy. That philosophy, which is based on values of different groups and different people, so that is very important. So here science may help you to find out the number of people or number of groups or number of religions or number of languages, number of castes and their problems, what the problems they are facing. Science, logic and observation may help you to find out what actually is the situation. And you will understand the phenomena of diversity in a more scientific manner. Science will help you to understand that, to know the phenomena. But to have a kind of evaluative statement, to have a kind of value-oriented institutions to serve you, you require a dialogue and reconciliation among different groups of people, among different kinds of people. So that is how you need both science and philosophy. Both will help you to study a phenomena and to have a direction over the phenomena and on the phenomena. So therefore science and philosophy are very important. They both are covered by any theory. So here theory should be